Boom. It is now recording. It is 3:09 on the seventh day of the seventh month, 2024. It is our grit team meeting. Hopefully, if you're watching this live, you're able to be where you can unmute or get into the comments because we will be giving some things out. If you're watching this on replay, stay tuned. And I just want to say real quick, since it is recording, Kason, thanks for sending me that message. I know you couldn't make it yesterday, and I didn't even get that message out that the video posted until soon, or not very long ago, and you still got through that. So I appreciate you sending me the note and letting me know that you had watched it. But a lot of the guys have messaged me. Vince is playing in a game right now, and Cody is with the family and out away from the phone. Corbin has something going. So we're going to roll with who we have. But if you're watching this on replay, stay tuned. There will be something that I drop later in this call that you will need to know. And I will check. How will you know? How will you know because you'll know. You'll be able to tell later. So keep watching. But I'm excited to have Collin Henderson. If you guys have been in the program before, most of the guys that are on now are new. Keller was with us last summer. Grayson's just joining up with us. I appreciate you being here. Kason was with us last summer. Asher's listening in, about to get his camera on. But we have the best mental training program of any team, AAU, club basketball. I stumble here because I want to say West Coast, but countrywide. And now with my job, I'm getting to meet more people worldwide. And I would put our mental training portion of grit up with anybody's in the world. And so leading that, good friend Evan Moore partnered up with this guy. And so the returners that are watching this on replay, you'll recognize our next guest. Two sport dual athletes written over, I hate to say because he's always, it's like 7, 8 books. I could just say a published author, but that would sell him a little short. So multiple time author, has this program dialed in. The guys that are watching this that know, we talked about it last meeting, got something out of this, Collin. So I really appreciate what you do, and for you to hop on today. It's great to see you. What's going on, man?
What's up, Coach Miner? Coach Flint, what's up? Grit fam, good to see you. Jumping on real quick from Nashville, Tennessee. Just want to give you some words of encouragement today and just reinforce what Coach Miner is talking about, is having a mental game plan. Because I'm guessing a lot of you have noticed sometimes when you practice by yourself, you don't feel nerves. When you practice with your teammates, maybe you feel a little uneasiness, but come game time, crunch time, something feels off, something feels different. You can't execute. Your brain's noisy. You're worrying about what people are thinking. You're kind of thinking about the future stuff, like what if I miss? What if I make? What's going to happen? Coaches evaluate me. I have parents in the stands. So I think I just want to reinforce there are 3 things you can train: body, craft, mind. And I know everyone across the country is most likely getting shots up: craft, dribbling, shooting, passing. Everyone's doing craft. Now, the top 50% are in the weight room doing body, strength and conditioning, lifting, running, getting their agility on. But the top 1% are going to the mind gym. Whether they're reading books, whether they have a personal coach, whether they have a program like we have at Grit, it's called Master Mindset, where we are proactively training elite mental skills. Are you aware that every single Major League Baseball team has a mental skills coach? The NBA, the commissioner, Adam Silver, has mandated every single NBA team has 2 mental wellness professionals on staff. So what this tells us is the future of your development is not physical, it is mental. The biggest growth potential is not physical, it's mental. So if you think you can just roll the balls out and get 500 shots a day, that's not enough, because you're not simulating game time speed, game pressure. So part of the mental game is carving out time each day and to simulate and to visualize and have game plans when you notice nerves, when you notice fear, having the same process, how you prepare, how you warm up, how you deal with adversity. You have these things pre-trained. So I'm just going to kind of end with a story that I used to tell. This is the 10-year anniversary of Colton Tracy, Bond Lake High School wrestler, was in the same town that I was living at the time 10 years ago. And he was a wrestler. And his freshman year, he made it to the state finals and lost. Second year, made it to the state championship and lost. As a junior, made it to the state championship final match and lost. So going into his senior year, he's like, I got to change something. I'm so close of achieving my dream, but I just haven't done it yet. So what he did is kind of basic. I'm going to challenge everyone here to do it today. He took out a piece of paper and he wrote his goal in present tense. He said, February 23, 2014, Colton Tracy is a state champion wrestler. He wrote that down 23 times on a piece of paper. Colton Tracy on February 23rd, 2014 is the state champion. He took out, whether it is Microsoft Word or PowerPoint, he wrote out Colton Tracy, Bonnie Lake state champion. He took out a third piece of paper and he actually drew himself a picture. He drew himself on his knees, arms up like this, with the Tacoma Dome behind him where the state title was, winning a state championship. He drew a vision board of himself with his goal. And he said, I looked at these things every single day that entire year. And Brant, I'm going to email you an article. There's a picture of Colton Tracy when he pinned his man to be the state championship. He drew the exact picture that was snapshotted with his arms like this, winning the state championship.
That's epic, man. That's so awesome.
So the reason why I tell that story is he made one change in his preparation. Is he would visualize what he wanted to create, and he took time to intentionally write it in present tense and visually drew it. Because here's the takeaway. Thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. If your mind is untrained, you're going to focus on worry, doubt, stress, and fear, correct? Yes or no? If your mind is not disciplined, because the brain is a survival machine, you're going to think about what can go wrong. What if I miss this shot? What if I don't finish? What if I don't score? What if I get scored on? You're reinforcing, you're actually practicing failure. Does that make sense? You are rehearsing your fears and you're creating what's called mental grooves, neural pathways that's reinforcing subconsciously what you don't want. So when you're in a game, so here's the truth, 6,000 thoughts a day are conscious thoughts. Up to 70,000 thoughts are what's called subconscious. It's like just automatic. So a lot of you are out there playing, performing. These automatic negative thoughts are guiding your behaviors without you knowing it. So every single day we need to go to the mind gym and have just these mental grooves, these practicing what you want, not what you don't want. Does that make sense?
100%.
So when I say visualize, I mean literally picture yourself making plays. Picture yourself being in control of your mind and your body. See yourself in that half-court set, on the fast break, making stops. Mentally rehearse how you want to show up. Because here's what's awesome about mental training is the brain cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is imagined. I'll say that again. The brain and the body cannot tell the difference between an actual physical rep and getting a mental rep. You're creating the same muscle memory, the same neural pathways when you visualize as actually getting in the rep. And what's cool about when you take the ball away, you get a perfect rep. I'll say it again. When you take the ball out, when you visualize, you get a perfect rep. Because you get to see the ball go in, you get to feel your mechanics, you get to carve and create neural pathways, mental grooves of how you want that rep to feel and what you want to create when you're in that moment. And then when you do this enough, man, your brain's like, yo, I've been here before. I know what to do here. I've rehearsed this. So we don't rise to our goals, we fall to the level of how we train physically and mentally. But I'll end with this question. How can you become what you don't see? How can you become what you don't see? So if you have not visualized, written out your goals, created a vision board, you're shooting at a target. There's no targets. Let's go. Simplify the process. Picture what you want, and then backward design. What are the behaviors to get me there, and visualize those every single day. Reinforce your shooting, your dribbling by 5-10 minutes a day. Play your playlist. Going on a walk, in the shower, in the car. Start to mentally rehearse yourself executing the way you want. Here's a quiz, because we got the Paris Olympics coming up this month. Who has the most medals of all time? Who has the most gold medals of all time?
Pastor, do you know? Who would you guess?
It's either between Michael Phelps and then is it that one gymnast girl? Forgot her name.
Michael Phelps, good job, has the most medals of all time. I'm gonna leave you with these two. This is your mental workout for this month. All right. Three things. I want you to write out your goals as if they're already yours. You can draw a picture. You can write your goals in present tense using the words I am or I have, and draw a picture of it, or take out pictures of or not take it. You can probably do it on your phone. You can probably superimpose your face on Steph Curry hitting a big shot. That's step one. Now, the second thing I want you to do is every time Michael Phelps would walk through a doorway, he'd give himself an affirmation, as in he would verbalize himself as, I'm a champion. No one outworks me. I have a gold medal in this event. I'm built for this. I love what I do. But the third thing Phelps would do is he would spend up to 30 minutes every single day visualizing every single part of his process of winning a medal. The day of the race, in the green room, chilling, waiting, listening to his playlist, getting his mind right, walking on the pool deck, seeing the crowd, hearing the hype music, jumping on the platform, jumping in the water, feeling his strokes. He'd even imagine and experience, hey, what happens if my goggles get fogged up? What happens if my swim cap comes off? He had a plan every single way of the process. There's no doubt why Michael Phelps is the GOAT. He trained his body, but he trained his mind every day. So if you want to be great, here's the truth. Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Winners do what non-winners are not willing to do. So it's easy for me to say, draw a vision board, write your goals in present tense. It's easy for me to say affirmations every day. It's easy for me to say visualize. But will you do it? You're probably juiced right now because your boy's bringing the fire. But in like 30 minutes, 30 days, you're gonna like go back to your old ways and just stay comfortable. The biggest growth potential is not physical, it's mental. If you want to win the outer game, you got to win the inner game first. So I just gave you 3 things to do. Write your goals in present tense, draw a vision board, and support that vision with some habits you're going to do to make that reality. Say your affirmations and visualize every day. Let's go.
Let's go. Asher, give us one thing you took away from the spring training program, the Master Your Mindset.
I feel like I say this like every single time you ask me this, but it's honestly just like it's like the biggest thing for me every single time is the positive thoughts whenever you're working out, kind of like the affirmations you're talking about, like you're built for this, like you're a winner, you know, that kind of stuff, like failing reps and like keeping a positive mindset through it, like next shot, you know.
Love it.
Gold fit.
Love it. Kason, last summer you got to do some of this. Go ahead and unmute and tell us, or tell Collin, let him know what takeaways you have.
I think the visualizing aspect was really good for me, like just thinking like if I'm on the bench or like a dead ball or something, just thinking, imagining a shot going in, and then just that would just help me a lot. Just thinking and seeing that in my head, and then that would help me actually do it.
Love it. I think one of the things you said, Colin, that really stood out to me is how can you become what you don't see? Like faith is believing in something you can't see. I think that might be the definition of faith. Believing in something you can't see takes faith. And so it's hard if you can't visualize it, like you can't be what you I just that right there hit me, Colin. So that was a good one. I've been fortunate to spend some good calls with you and time with you, and that was one that I took away from today. So I really appreciate you swinging through and taking the time out. Is it humid there, I bet,
Yeah,
and
I'm sweating. It's like
outside?
92 outside. Yeah.
Well, yeah, worry about what you can control, right? So
I
don't
like the
complain about
heat,
the
man.
weather
I
too
lived in
much.
Seattle long enough. So I'm gonna end with
Close
this
it.
quote. Now, this is from Napoleon Hill from the book Think and Grow Rich. A great book on mindset and how to visualize, how to like create your goals and turn your goals into actions, and then reality is whatever the brain can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Whatever the brain can conceive, as in picture, pinpoint, see, but also anchor that vision with belief, you can achieve it. So, Kason, I love what you said. You know, in dead balls, take time to see myself making plays, see the ball going in. Asher, powerful self-talk, positive self-talk. Thoughts become things. Like attracts like. Words are tools. Words are your wands. Words create worlds. So, are your words serving you or are they hurting you? And I played in Hoop Fest this last weekend, 3-on-3 tournament in Spokane. And I haven't played hoops in a long time. And Saturday, I didn't play great because I just haven't played. So Sunday, I was like, I'm gonna do everything that I teach, every performer that I work with. I just was flooding the zone with powerful self-talk. I was visualizing my two balls going in. And it was crazy what just a little mental work, mental shift did. Your boy balled on Sunday.
Let's go.
You know, so this stuff, I mean, this is life changing. And apply this to school. Apply this when you're in environment socially. Apply this when you're taking a test. Apply this when you have challenges in life. This is bigger than basketball. So the fact that you got access to this now, like y'all got cheat codes. These are legit cheat codes. If you can start to embed these and make these habits daily, man, your life is going to be just, you are limitless. The body has limits, the mind's limitless. So best of luck to y'all. Coach Miner, is always an honor. Thank you.
I really do appreciate you, Colin. And I know the guys, what you're doing with that and the way you broke it down into like 90-second to videos with the questions to kind of engage them. Way better than just like a 2-hour video, man. You crushed it on that. So I'm honored that we get to work with you. And it is, if the pros are doing it, why would we not be doing it? Right? Like, why would we not be taking time? Because we do live in Coos Bay, Roseburg, people are coming from all over. So we're trying to give you guys tools to be successful on and off the floor. And, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I can only do so much, right? Like giving you access, having access to Collin right here. If you guys aren't taking advantage of this, at the end of the day, we can only do so much to help you guys. And I think that's what I love about this team right now, Collin, is these guys do take advantage of it. Grayson and Keller was with us last summer. Grayson's new to the program. But I think they do value it and they recognize it. And it showed. We won our last tournament. Our 17U team did. Kaysen showed up and balled out, man. And so from where you were last summer, Kaysen, to where you were that last tournament up there in Auburn, Collin, he was probably, I don't know, 15 for 19 from three on the weekend. It was pretty incredible shooting. Maybe I sold him short. I don't know. Maybe he's chuckling because he's like, Coach, I was actually 15 for 18. But Coach Lunt, actually, I know he's coaching our 17U group again this summer. So definitely to have a mental training, and then Coach Willis as an assistant to Coach Lunt, and then me as a assistant to the assistant, I guess. I'm kind of John's assistant, Coach Willis's assistant. But I think the kids do appreciate what they're getting to take advantage of. So appreciate you, Collin. You're welcome to hang out, or if you want to dip out, definitely understand. But try to stay cool back there, man. You guys have
No, I'm going back inside. The kids are doing some stuff inside.
oh yeah, it gets loud. I get that.
Ran outside real quick. No, I just appreciate a program. I think y'all should thank, Coach Miner for investing in you guys like this. I mean, this is unique. I think this is the future, but not every coach carves out time to talk about these things. So I think this is an advantage that y'all can utilize and optimize if you commit to it. But just super grateful for the opportunity, and let's have some fun on off the court this summer. Let's go. Peace.
Peace out, Collin. Appreciate you. Coach Lunt actually introduced me to Collin that was Coach Lunt's popping up, but Collin, that was 2019, right before COVID, I think. Coach Lunt, do you remember when that was? You're on mute. You're still on mute.
It was second year after or right before COVID.
Yeah. So Coach Lunt, if you guys see, he has those really cool new what do you know what those are, Asher? Do you know what he's rocking there? Do you know that type of headset?
Aren't they Apple or something? Are they?
Yeah, they're the Apple.
They're the Pro Max.
He sounds a little delayed to me. What do you think? Does it look like he's not hearing exactly what I'm saying right on time, or do you think he's on time? I don't know. I don't know if he's a little delayed or not, but we're gonna move on. So let's see. I just love having Collin be able to come in, and you guys will start that. You'll be assigned it on Tuesday, and then you'll have until the following Monday to do the mental training for the week. So I'll send this out in the chat. Hopefully, if you're watching this on replay, you're taking notes and writing this down, that on Tuesday, you'll get the assignment from Master Your Mindset, Amplitude, and then it'll be due the following Monday. So like he said, are you going to stay motivated, or are you going to just kind of let it fizzle out? And that's what's going to differentiate you guys from the rest of the competition. Some guys are just going to wait and not take it serious. But like, what I think is pretty cool is like we have Asher, who's going off to play college basketball. And then we have Keller, who is going to be a sophomore. Then we have Kaysen, who's going to be a junior. And then we have Grayson, who's going to be a senior on this call right now. So to have that range of age, I think it's going to be awesome. All right, it is awesome for Asher to be the leader of the program and having played the last 2 years, and Keller playing last summer, but now stepping into a 17U role. This will be big for you in your development. And I think it's really cool because you're gonna know a little bit more about Coos Bay, Asher, soon, right? And you know who knows a little bit about Coos Bay, Asher? Keller. Keller, and I mean, obviously Keller's dad and his uncle, I played against his uncle at Marshfield. So he knows a little bit about Coos Bay, kind of like you know a little bit about Roseburg. And also Luke is playing this summer. So he also is a Coos Bay player, Marshfield High School. So yeah, and then with Kaysen, having played with Grayson and Dwelle Dwelle, I don't know where he is today. Have you guys, do you know anything about where he would be today? Kaysen, no. Um, but yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that. So I think Asher knows he did it all the time. Last summer, we were a little less accountable for that, but we have 10 guys this summer. I want to make sure that everybody is dialed in and doing that every week, because if you play for grit and you go back and you don't have those mental toughness skills, then it reflects on us as a program. So part of signing up, all of you guys have agreed to kind of give it everything you have. And it's not unrealistic. It's not like we're asking you guys to read 3 books and watch 20-minute videos every day. Like, it's realistic. So take advantage of this opportunity. But I think Coach Willis is on the road. But when he gets to where he can chat, I'll have him say hello. And Think and Grow Rich is a great book, like Collin mentioned. So if you guys are looking for something, if you enjoy reading, like Coach Lunt always says, if you don't enjoy reading, start. Probably be a good time now in high school, because it's a great way to gain knowledge, and knowledge is an advantage, right? So if you can have an upper hand on the competition, reading the gold standard, right? Coach K, Coach Mike Krzyzewski, do you guys know Coach K, right? Keller, Grayson, the GOAT, the GOAT college basketball. I'd put him up there as one of the top coaches in any sport, just for what he did for over. Think about this. If he want if I was to get a head coaching job at a D1 school this year and worked until I was 80 and won 30 games every year, 30 games for the next 40 years, I still wouldn't have as many wins as Coach K. 40 years of 30 wins, and you're not going to have as many wins as he has. That, to me, just puts him on a different level. People may argue John Wooden at UCLA, but Coach K did it over 4 decades and changed his recruiting philosophy midway and won another national championship. And 1,200 games. Coach Willis, the Duke University future basketball coach. Coach Willis, what's happening, man? Where are you at today? What do you got going on?
Good afternoon, everybody. I was driving earlier, so I have parked now. So I am about to pick up my crew, my little ones. So that's what I got going right now.
Good time of day. Good time of day. Getting to get together with the family. That's awesome. So we just got to hear from Collin. Is there anything that you want to say before I move on to the next part?
Um, I also was.
It's not you, Grayson. It's Coach Willis. I think it's Coach Willis. I don't think it's Asher. Coach Willis. I'm sure we're missing a gem right now, you guys. I'm sure I can kind of tell he's laying it down right now.
Was talking.
Right. I understand what you're saying, John. No, well, actually, no. I don't understand anything that's you're saying. But I appreciate the effort, and I'm sure I would feel a lot more motivated had I heard what you just said. And now he's gone completely. So that was a bummer. I did just call on him and put him on the spot. And so maybe he did that on purpose. So that way, because I don't know if he knew what he was going to say. And then he did the robot voice and sounded like he was underwater. But that's okay. That's okay. Hopefully he can join back with us. We did say the mental training Tuesday, and do the following Wednesday. Like he said, it's the ones that do it versus the ones that don't. So if you want to differentiate yourself, like think about the statistics that 19 out of 20 high school players don't get to play in college. 19 out of 20 don't. So what are you going to do different than the 95% of people? What are you going to do differently? Because if you don't do anything differently, then you're going to be in that 95%. So that's why when we've talked about sending emails to coaches, how do you make yourself stand out? If they're getting 20 emails a day, what are you doing differently to make yourself stand out? And obviously, if you're 6'11", that's one way. But since nobody on this team has that advantage, you need to make sure that you're doing stuff, kind of thinking outside the box and being creative. Coach Willis just showed up and then didn't get to join. So hopefully he gets to a spot where he can talk. But so how do you differentiate yourself? One of them is the mental training. Like you said, everybody's working on jump shots out there. Every program's doing that, right? Every program's probably doing ball handling. Some programs are doing the training stuff that you guys are working with other trainers. I know Bolger's worked with some of you and Winkler, and you're getting some of that training from them. But the mind differentiating yourself by being able to have had the mental reps. I love that he said that, every visualized rep is a perfect rep. Because when you shoot, you make every one, or you should, if you're the one that's guiding the ball in your mind. If you're the one that's visualizing it and you're missing a lot, come on, like you gotta train, get yourself a new thought process, right? Like when you're shooting in your head, everyone should just hit the middle and the bottom of the net. And that's why I think we've talked about eliminating variables on a jump shot or on a free throw. Everybody talks about, make sure that you do the same 2 dribbles or whatever your routine is, but you need to have the mental repetitive every time also. You can't think, oh crap, it's the 4th quarter of this high school game and I'm down 1, I got to make this shot. You have to just sight, feel, swoosh, whatever your mental rep, like maybe it's just you count, that's what I said. Mine was sight, I'd see it going in, I'd feel it going in, and then I would swoosh. So sight, feel, swoosh, like when I shot my free throws. And didn't matter whether it was state tournament, preseason at Roseburg, or a Tuesday night in Coos Bay. I was doing the same mental repetition and physical repetition on every free throw. And so I think that training your mind, so that way when you are in that situation, when that pressure time comes, you're ready. You're ready to do it because you've visualized it. You've seen yourself in that situation. And like we were saying, faith, believing in something you can't see is hard. That's why, my last 2 coaching jobs, it was really a lot more difficult to recruit when I first got there. Because my last job coaching at Southern Oregon University, my first year, we were 9th out of 10 in the conference. and I hadn't recruited any of the players, and it wasn't as much fun as the last year when we got Tim Weber, we had Eric Thompson, we had some of these Roseburg kids that were ballers. We had two kids from Roseburg that were honorable. One was honorable mention All-American, and one was a second team All-American their senior year together. But they didn't go to high school together because they were 5 years apart in age. Wild. Asher knows a little bit more about that. The rest of you are looking confused. Eric graduated, pitched for the Dodgers for 5 years, and then came back to play college basketball. Tim Weber came right from Roseburg to SOU and played. So they were the same age on the roster, the same grade, freshman. And then their senior year, both seniors, All-Americans. So people are like, dang, that high school team must have been loaded. And I was like, well, they actually didn't even go to high school together because one's 5 years older than the other one. But we went from ninth. So what I was getting at is it's harder to recruit when you're really bad because you can't see it. So it takes faith that you're going to be good. So that's what I talked about at Southern, and same type of thing at Pacific. Is it's easier when you're winning to say we're going to win because you can see it. You can see it. That first year, Southern Oregon, when we were really bad, it's like, come here, we will be good. And Tim Weber came, Jeff Bush, Kyle Tedder. And then the last year when we were ranked number 2 in the nation, people could see it. So it was easier to sell it, I guess. But believing in something you can't see. So if you don't visualize yourself in that position, you will never get there. So, Coach Lent, go for it.
Just want to add to that too. I think it's important to understand that past successes are just as important as having faith too. All of you have had a game in your career where you couldn't miss it all and made shots or played unbelievable, played in the zone, whatever it is. It's the same thing, with when things aren't going your way, like how you can lose confidence. But knowing that your past successes that you've been able to do it. Coach brings up the thing about Pacific. When we took over the job here at Pacific, like they've not been good at all. But the confidence that we had as a coaching staff, knowing that we had success in our conference and that we would get there just through past successes, was always left us with unwavering faith that we would get it going and we would get to conference tournament, which was first step, and then win a conference championship. So I think it's important to have faith. It's also important to hone in on past successes that you've had as a player. I know Coach brought up Jason's, when Jason was shooting the snot out of the ball in that one tournament. Well, he's going to have games where, they might not be falling. Your first 4 shots, you're 0 for 4. Well, what are you doing, or mentally, what are you doing to put yourself in a position that the next shot goes down? And I think focusing on, hey, you got faith that the next shot's going to go down, but you're also saying to yourself, hey, man, like I've hit eight threes in game 4. Like this ain't shit, and you've got to have that confidence and have that mentality. So I think that those things are important with it too, is, honing in on your faith, but also honing in on past successes, which will lead to confidence.
You earn confidence. You earn it by the work you put in. Confidence doesn't come from an arm sleeve or like a headband. Like confidence comes knowing that you've put in the work, right? Like you've prepared. And that's what we're trying to give you guys is confidence. But yeah, knowing that you can do it and believe in it and having, the visualization of having already been there. And I love that story. I'm excited to see this picture of Colton Tracy and see how he actually lived out that picture that he put together. So that's all really good stuff. We will have that assignment, so you guys will be responsible for getting that in, and we will talk about them on the Wednesday call. So They'll be due Monday. We'll practice Tuesday. So the day that we practice this week is Tuesday and Thursday. So practices are Tuesday and Thursday in Sherwood at Sanders Court. So if you don't know Sanders Court, I will be sending out that information to everybody. In the text, I updated the parent chat and I have the players chat. I think everybody but and Dwelle, are you getting, can you unmute? Do you know, are you getting that group text thread? Are you in that group? You are. Have you replied? Have you written anything in there yet?
Not yet.
Did you see the assignment or did you read it? I'm not messing. I'm not trying to harp on you, but right, everybody else has got theirs in, so submit that when you get a chance, okay?
Okay.
And parents should have we have 19 people, so I know Catherine's in there, and we have both Bridges in there, and we had to update it because we had to take one name out and add a couple other parents. So now it should be good for the parents in that group chat. And that's where we'll be dropping the address if you don't know where Sanders Court is. But if you have questions about things, Asher knows kind of the rule. Ask 3, then ask me. So if you have questions about things, reach out to a couple of your teammates, 3 of them at least. And if they can't answer or they don't know the answer to your question, then you can reach out to me. That's just kind of good policy to work on. You don't want to go to your parents, like if you can Google it, like try to Google it. That's something that I think is a undervalued skill, is the ability to problem solve. Sounds good, Coach. Appreciate you. Coach Lent had to go get his kids, so I think that's an undervalued skill, is being able to problem solve a little bit. So if 3 of your teammates don't know the answer to when something's due or where you need to be, then I probably wasn't clear, and it's totally fine to ask. But so ask 3, then ask me. Think and Grow Rich, Gold Standard by Coach K. If anybody, we will have next weekend, it looks like it'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. As soon as I know the information, I will get that to you for the Portland area tournament. So I know we all want to know just so we can plan, but our schedule is Tuesday, practice in Sherwood, Wednesday, Zoom call, Thursday practice before the Friday, Saturday, Sunday tournament. If I know more about whether it's 1 game, 2 games, 1 game, or what the schedule is, I will keep everybody updated on that. Let's see. Does anybody have any questions? Is there anything, Asher or Grayson, Keller, Kaysen? I appreciate everyone that's watching this. So if you're watching this on replay right now, you need to send me a message. If you're watching this on replay right now, you need to send me a message, and you need to send me your favorite memory from your basketball career. So any moment, any memory, if you're watching this on replay. So we have Keller, Grayson, Dwelle, Kaysen, and Asher here. So you guys have, you can send me that same thing or something else. But I know that you guys are all here. I have everybody's names down. So send me that too. Why don't you? Okay, Keller, Grayson, Asher. Send me your best, not in the group, but just to me privately. your best basketball memory or moment. It can be summerly, any basketball moment related to basketball. Because I'm gonna share one of mine. We're at the kennel at Gonzaga, my freshman year. I'm a walk-on freshman year. We're up 16 on the Zags with 4 minutes left. They go on a 12-0 run, capped off by Blake Stepp getting a steal, throwing an alley-oop dunk to Roni Turioff, who had like his hair up in the net. Our coach calls timeout. It was so loud in the gym at Gonzaga, you couldn't hear anything that our coach was saying. We held him off with 7 seconds left. Coach calls down the bench, Minor, get in the game. 7 seconds. We're up 4. We're playing defense. Coach puts me in. I'm guarding a guy named Tony Skinner. I had him locked down on the left wing. Blake Stepp, their point guard, dribbles down and drains one from about 38 feet. They call timeout. Coach subs me out. We end up holding them off. We won the game. I played 3 seconds, but we beat Gonzaga at the kennel. This was after they'd already made the Elite Eight, and you guys are all young or probably think of Gonzaga as a perennial power because they've been good since 98, 99 when they went to the Sweet 16. They went to the Elite Eight one year, and then the next year they went to the Sweet 16. Mark Few was the coach, who's the coach there now when I was playing. But that's one of my best basketball memories. Favorite moments was flying into Spokane. They had won 40 some games in a row at home, and then after we beat them, they won 52 in a row. Gonzaga they've been good for a long time, but they dipped in the early 90s. John Stockton, you guys know John Stockton, hopefully everyone on the call that's watching this live knows John Stockton. I do see the Scottie Pippen slam shirt there, Grayson. I like that one. Pretty sweet shirt. Stockton went to Gonzaga 80s. In the 90s, they weren't as good. And then they picked up in the late 90s and have been pretty good since. Absolutely. So that was one of my moments. So I want you guys that are watching this live, send me one of your best moments and memories. And then that's one of mine. If you're watching this on replay, same thing. So if you guys want to, the 5 of you that are on, maybe tell the 5 that aren't on that they should watch the replay. And because we will be Thursday practicing, and we will remind everybody that didn't do it. So make sure that you look out for your teammates. Luke, I'm calling you out, Luke. Tell me you saw this, man. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I need you to be more engaged, man. You got 1 more year of high school, man. You got 1 year down there in Coos Bay. I want you to get out of Coos Bay. Let's go, man. You're 6'9". Come on. Show up. But no, I hope Luke is watching this, and I hope this motivates you or pisses you off, one of the two. But I hope you understand that I want you to be engaged and be a part of this thing, and you got a lot of good stuff going for you, man. But all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up with that. I appreciate you guys being here. Keller, Asher, sending prayers up for your mom, heading out to see your dad. So I'm glad you're back, Asher and Keller and Grayson. It's exciting to have you and Dwelle with us. Want you to get more engaged with us too, like in that group thread, answer that question. But I do appreciate the communication. Let me know that you were going to be in Central Washington. So just over communicate. That's a good policy. You're not going to bug me. You're not going to bug Coach Lunt. I'd rather be notified of things than wondering. So, yeah, that's a good kind of lesson. You can over communicate. There was the ask 3, then ask me. So don't just reach out to ask questions that somebody else can answer. But if you're not sure if you're gonna miss something or be at something, just let me know. And hopefully that's just a good communication lesson. But all right, guys, thanks for joining. Good to see everybody. And we will sign off. I'll hit the stop recording now. It's